What's up, y'all? We back. We are back. And so we're gonna do a double header today. I didn't want to do a regular tribe meeting because it really wasn't a whole lot more I wanted to talk about. These are the two. I was gonna already do this video on the Storm Monroe interview, but then the Shanquella Robinson information came out, so I wanted to keep it separate. So we are back. We got a double header going on one. So let's get into it. You guys. So let me say hi to the people before we get into it. A lot of you guys were already here. Hey, Lemon Kush, what's up? Two L's. How you doing? Hey, Miss Kiki. Hey, my love. You hit the like on the way in. Thank you so much. Hey, Danny. What's up, Tracy? Hey, Sharice. Are we back? I'm listening as I work on my thesis on mental health and services. Okay, go ahead with that thesis. Hey, Quake, what's up? Finally catch a live at the beginning. Hey, Nico. Yes, if you have not gotten your tumbler and your mug, y'all make sure y'all head over to Danny's Etsy store and get you your mug, honey, and your tumbler. Hey, what's up, Auntie T Trisha? What's going on? Hey, Nap Queen. Danny J. Hey, Keish Mystic Rain. Hey, Corey. Hey, Melly. What's going on? I meant to put this in the description. I'm going to put this in the description box. I'm going to put Storm Monroe's video and I'm going to put Conscious TV's video from last night in the description box. And I'm going to tell you why I want to add Conscious TV. But if one of my mods can drop Conscious TV's video from last night where he talked about the Storm Monroe interview, and then I'm going to put the Storm Monroe video. I'm going to put it in the description box so you guys can have it. So this video, we're going to be talking about, and Storm Monroe did an interview with Tim Savage. So for those who do not know who Tim Savage is and why Storm Monroe interviewing him and why do we care, I ain't going all the way back, child. We ain't got time to go all the way back. We're just going to go a little bit back. But let's go a little bit back to what is going on. So Tim Savage and his wife, Jongalyn, I think her name is. They are one of the parents. Well, they are the parents of Joycelyn Savage, right? Now, Joycelyn Savage is one of R. Kelly's girlfriends. You guys remember the famous interview with Gayle King, where the two of them, Joycelyn and Azriel Clary, were there. We know that, over the years, R. Kelly has had other, relationships, but Joycelyn is the one that is allegedly still with him to this day. Remember a few months ago, it came out that she had a baby, and all of us were trying to do the math on that one. All of us were like, carry the 2, subtract the 3. Like, we were all trying to figure that out because R. Kelly been in jail for a long time, and they are not legally married, so I don't know how they made a baby happen. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Let's get into that. Hold on, am I doing the right thing? Oh shoot, I was in there. Okay. So Storm Monroe interviewed Tim Savage last night. The interview is about 2.5 hours long. Part of that is dealing with he had callers. So like the last maybe 40, 45 minutes, he had people calling in. And baby, if you want to get your laugh on, baby, y'all go check out the call-in. Now what Storm has done is he has cut it up. He has taken the 2 hours and he's cut it up into certain segments. So if you want to just catch the highlights, he's kind of done that for you. But if you want to sit through the whole interview, he does still have the whole interview up there. So we're going to put the link for that. Now the reason why I want I'm tongue-tied. The reason why we're going to also talk about Conscious TV's video, and y'all know Conscious TV, that's my boo thing. He's been over here and he supported the channel. He helped me get to my 10K. You guys remember that night he came over here and he was like, oh, we're going to get you to your 10K tonight. And I did. I hit my 10K that night. So thank you again. But last night he discussed, and if y'all don't know anything about Conscious TV and his videos, he be having these marathon lives, right? Conscious TV, I have literally There have been times when I have literally fallen asleep listening to Conscious TV, and I wake up and they still live. Okay. He will stay up all night. He does it all the time, right? So last night he went live to discuss the Storm Monroe interview, and he went through all the different highlights and stuff like that, like I'm talking about. And then he opened up the panel. Well, a pro R. Kelly young lady came on there, and of course she's giving all the talking points of how he was railroaded and blah blah blah, and he deserves a new trial, and he shouldn't have been charged, and he didn't do anything wrong, and none of these girls were underage, yada yada yada. Well, towards the end, I would say like maybe the last hour and a half of the video, if you guys go back and listen to like the last hour and a half, then what's her name? Jovan. Hold on. Now I gotta I want to make sure I say her name correctly. I believe it's because he just actually I think he just put the video up on his channel. I think Conscious just I think he cut up the video and he just put that last part on. He's live right now actually. Javante Cunningham, he did put a video up. Well, it premieres later on tonight. But Javante Cunningham, who was on all 4 parts of the Surviving R. Kelly, she was the one that was friends with Aaliyah, and used to work for R. Kelly. She came up there, and when I tell y'all, she laid it out. Baby, she laid it out. So y'all need to go and listen to that and listen to what she had to say. She laid it out. So you don't, again, if you don't want to hear about R. Kelly, if you sick of it, you over it, you don't want to talk about it, that's what we get ready to talk about. And I understand because, at a certain point, you might just be like, child, I don't feel like listening to this no more. But that's what we getting ready to talk about. So did I say hi to everybody? Yeah, I did. Hold on. Some other people have come in. Hey, Corey say I'm back. Hey, boo, Melly. Ooh, I made it back in time. Was driving to the farmhouse to get some check-in tomorrow, so I got to get it ready. Yana, listen, I need your Airbnbs. I'm going to have to stay at one of your Airbnbs, girl. You'll be working for them. Listen, you sound like you always hustling to working out on your Airbnbs. I'm getting both when I finish my move to Daytona. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Really B, I wanted to stop and check on you. Well, thank you. I haven't seen you in a while. Simply be yourself. It's good to see you. Dark Liquor Cam. Hey, my love. Yeah, Devon. Thank you, Monique. What's up, Jason? Thank you for coming back, my love. And thank you for your insights, And also, Danny and I are going to be working on something new. So we're going to get the merch together. I kind of got sidetracked, but we're going to get the merch together. Okay. Now, so why is Storm Monroe talking to Tim Savage? Well, why not? If you guys remember, Tim Savage is, now there are 2 different sets of parents that were very prominent in this Surviving R. Kelly situation. Azriel Clary's parents and then Tim Savage. Now let's talk about Azriel Clary's parents for a second. I did a video on it. I did a video about it. It's on my channel. We did a quick chat about it. And on the members only live, we talked about it. Hey, Whitney, how you doing, boo? In my members only, my last members only live, we talked about it in members only. The court transcripts show text messages between Azriel Clary and her mother. And in those text messages, they were actually very sick. In those text messages, her mother is literally telling her how to seduce R. Kelly. That's just, I don't have no other way of putting it. I don't have no other way of putting it. She is telling her how to seduce R. Kelly. In the text messages, she even tells her, don't look too old. You know he likes them young. She proceeds to talk to her daughter about how, do this and be seductive like this. And she even instructed her daughter, sit in his lap. There are a lot of those text messages. All of them were entered into the trial. Hey, what's up, Davlin? They all were entered into the trial. So they were verified. Okay, because the prosecution entered them, they were verified. These came from Azriel's phone, between her phone and her mother's phone, right? So, of course, that has struck up a whole lot of people saying a whole lot of things, right? That has struck up a whole lot of people saying a whole lot of things. Hey, Miss B-Town Hester, hey. Um, Now, of course, the father has said, Angelo Clary, he has said, and he ain't do it. Wasn't him. He ain't do it. He didn't know anything about it. And it almost sounds like he's throwing his wife under the bus, because he was like, what's up, Face? You know what? I'm so overdue for some FaceTime. Get it? FaceTime? Anyway, what's up? You out there working? I see you. Why is she not getting any jail time? Well, listen, don't get me telling those stories. But listen, I know y'all don't know. I know y'all know I can't explain the criminal justice system. But at this point, I don't even know if there's any, I don't even know what they could charge her with at this point. I mean, anything they charged her, because I don't know what, I was reading somewhere, but somebody said they should charge her with human trafficking. I think it was even in this interview. Maybe it was Tim Savage said that. I don't know. And that, that could be a thing. Like, I don't know. So with that going on, I'm wondering if that might be the reason why Storm Monroe might have circled back around to Tim Savage. But, there have been rumors about the Savages out there as well. Some of those accusations are coming directly from Tasha K. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes as well. Tasha K, you guys remember a few months ago when Tasha K got into it with the lady on Instagram, when she did the interview with R. Kelly from jail, and Tasha K, y'all remember that whole thing? We talked about it over here. I forget the lady's name now. But remember in the chat, Joycelyn's parents and sister were in the chat, and Tasha K was in the chat arguing with them, and Tasha K was trying to say, oh, you sold your daughter, and you're no victim, and you did this, you did. Basically, Tasha K was accusing Tim Savage and his wife of doing what we found out that the Clarys in those text messages did. Is actually what she was accusing him of setting up the daughter and basically grooming the daughter to be with R. Kelly. And I find that to be very interesting, because when you get into what Tim Savage had to say about Angelo Clary and Tasha K, it'll be very interesting. So let me get into my notes, okay? Like I said, this was a 2-hour-long interview. Y'all know I only give y'all the highlights. So if you want to see the whole thing, that's why I will have the link to Storm Monroe's video in the description box and Conscious TV's video in the description box, because y'all know I only give y'all the highlights. I always tell y'all, go to the original video and get the whole kit and caboodle, okay? But I'm telling you now, if you don't do nothing else with Storm Monroe's video, y'all listen to them call-ins. Baby, them call-ins were hilarious. And read the comments, because the comments was giving me life too, okay? All right, so first they started off with the baby. Remember Joycelyn they said that she was, remember there was an announcement, I think it hit like the Shade Room, where she had a baby and she said it was R. Kelly's, right? He said that he was able to verify that that was not his daughter's child. He said actually the person who that baby actually belonged to actually reached out to him. Now, this is all coming from the daddy, okay? Everything I'm saying, it came from the interview, so it's all allegedly, because I can't verify, but this is what the daddy said had happened. He said that the actual parents reached out to him of that baby and said, listen, that is not Joycelyn's baby, that is our baby, and that picture is actually 7 years old. So the child isn't even a child anymore, but that's our child. That's our baby picture. And basically they knew who they knew or felt like they knew where the picture came from because their acquaintances, friends, I don't know if I want to use the word friend, but their acquaintances with the Savages, with that woman. Y'all remember from I didn't hold on, let me make sure I didn't write her name down. Child, I was trying to take these notes. Um okay. I didn't write her name down. But y'all remember from part 4 of or part 3 of Surviving R. Kelly, that woman that they were talking about that shows up at court, like his super supporter, that the woman in the red hat, I forget her name, but she's the one who they feel like put that picture out there. Remember, she allegedly, that's who Joycelyn is living with right now. And the people who reached out to the daddy said, listen, that's our child. We're pretty certain we know where that picture came. Alice, thank you. Thank you, Miss B Town Hester. I didn't write her name down. Thank you, Alice. Excuse me. Thank you. Hey. But that's where they feel like the picture came from, because they know Alice or they have an acquaintance with Alice or whatever, and that's the connection, and they feel like that's where the picture came from. So he said he was able to get the picture off of the shade room, and really nobody else ever picked that story up. But I think most people didn't pick that story up because the timeline just didn't match up. Like, they're not legally married, and you don't get conjugal visits with your girlfriend. So how did she have a baby when R. Kelly has been locked up longer than 9 months? So it didn't make sense. And it just, the timeline just didn't add up. So that was the first thing they talked about. So then they talked about the last time he said he saw his daughter, spoke with his daughter, was when she was in court. Remember when Joycelyn and Azriel got into it? Remember, the video went viral. They were fighting. It was after R. Kelly was in jail. They were fighting. They were moving out of his apartment, Trump Tower in Chicago. And it was after Azriel left. And remember, she said she was going back to get her stuff. And her and Joycelyn got into that fight. He said that he showed up in court, and that is the last time he saw his daughter. He said that he sat down next to her. And when he said she didn't even recognize him at first. And when she recognized that of who he was, then she asked the bailiff, to have him removed. And he said that the bailiff came over to him and said, look, I know the situation. I know this is your daughter. I know what y'all got going on, but can you please step out, step outside? Because of course she had to be in court. She was in court because she was there for legal reasons, probably just waiting for her case to be called. Thank you, Simply Be Yourself. You were a member before, I believe. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you for coming back, baby. Thank you for coming back. And he said, so he left. He said he didn't make a big deal about it. He left, but the wife was sitting there. But they said that Joycelyn wouldn't talk to his wife either. Wouldn't talk to her mother either. And he said that was in 20. He believes it was 2020. Storm Monroe said, well, what is the status now? Like, if she calls you today and said, Daddy, can I come home? He said she can come home anytime. He said the door's open. She can come home anytime she wants to come home. That's a no-brainer. She's open. She's welcome. Like, this is her house. We're her family. She hasn't done anything that would cause us to say she can't be here. So there was that. He asked about her now. Some of this information, if you watched all parts of the documentary, some of this information already. So I don't want to I'll just put that up there. Some of this already, but he talked about growing up. She was spoiled and she was loved, and there was no abuse, and she wasn't a runaway. Because we know some of the stories of the young ladies that dealt with R. Kelly. They had a lot of home issues and things like that. But he said that wasn't the case. That wasn't the situation. The Savages and the Clarys all belong in prison, period. Jocelyn does not want anything to do with her parents. She goes to visit Robert, but they are not married or have those kinds of visits. Right, exactly. No, this is my first time. This will help me to keep up with what you got. Oh, okay, Simply. I thought you were a member before, but thank you. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. So yeah, he said that. Now, this is where we get to the Tasha K part. Storm Monroe asked him about Tasha K. He said he was cool with Tasha K. And remember, if you guys remember, okay, if you have been following Tasha K, like some people, I had somebody leaving my comment one time that basically, I know you're trying to grow your channel, but you need to stop talking about Tasha K so much. And I don't think people understand. I have been around Tasha K for a long time. I was a fan. I was subscribed to Tasha K until I felt like she started kind of going a little bit left. But y'all know I give Tasha K credit where credit is due, but I'm also going to criticize if I feel like there's something to criticize. I do that with anybody. It is what it is. And so with that being said, I remember when Tasha K was doing all the R. Kelly stuff. It really helped grow her channel. The R. Kelly helped grow her channel a lot. When she first started doing the R. Kelly videos, again, I don't know the numbers, but I know it helped grow her channel a lot. I don't even know if she had 100,000 subscribers when she started doing the R. Kelly stuff. And then she was like at 500,000 subscribers, and within like a year or something like that. But with that being said, again, I don't know the exact timeline, but I know that her channel grew. And the Savages were a big part of that. They were giving her a lot of the information. They were giving her their story. They were giving her inside stuff that was happening with the case as the case was going along. And Tim Savage said that him and Tasha K were cool. Right. I remember, right. She used to talk about wine. And remember, she used to do call-ins and she would give advice and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't have no beef like that. Like, I'm not out to get Tasha K, but I talk about stuff down here all the time. But anyway, so with that being said, I remember when all of this was happening. Now, I'm be honest with you, I didn't know the difference between the Savages and the Clarys. I just knew that she was cool with a set of the parents, right? And so Tasha K reported a lot of their story and a lot of information as far as what was going on with the case and things like that. So he said they were real cool until he said Tasha K met. He said, I introduced Tasha K to the Clarys, Azriel's parents. He said, I introduced her to them. He said, and once they started being cool, then she kind of stopped messing with me a little bit. He said, hey, Really B, I got something for you. What's your email? Okay, Jay. Well, thank you. Whatever it is, thank you in advance. Thank you. I'll be looking for it. Then he said that on top of that, his attorneys advised him to stop talking to Tasha K. Which makes sense if he was telling Tasha K stuff that was going to hurt his case or end up hurting him in the long run as it related to whatever legal action they were trying to take against R. Kelly. I can understand his attorney saying, look, stop talking to the press, the media, the bloggers, the vlogger, whatever. Stop talking to people. You're doing too much. You're saying too much. So he said when he told Tasha K that he had to stop telling her stuff, he said that's when she really cut him off. Like, okay, well, basically. And again, I can believe that. I can believe that Tasha K was like, what you mean you got to stop talking to me? What you mean your lawyer said stop talking to me? I can see that. I ain't saying that it's true. I'm just saying I can believe that it's true. Because remember, this is coming from his point of view. This is his story. This proves that Clary's mother is guilty of child endangerment. However, hold on, let me read what it says. However, R. Kelly was a grown man. Yeah, he knew better. Tasha K is still under investigation for the whole correctional officer giving her information she was getting from the computer she caused the two girlfriends to get into. TK is not honest. I swear one says I like Tasha K until, well, I mean, she still got a whole fan base over there. But yeah, I mean, if I can tell you the first thing that Tasha K did that turned me off, and then it kind of went downhill from there. Good evening, really being everyone, girl. You don't have to defend yourself, folks. Just be talking the talk. Your channel's okay with the. Thank you, Miss Gigi. Thank you, thank you. Sorry, it proves AZ's mother is guilty of endangerment. Yeah, I definitely listen. I believe the text messages. I'm gonna tell you, part of the reason why I believe the text messages is because if the defense could prove that the text messages were false, fraudulent, and made up, they wouldn't have got in as evidence. I know that the criminal justice system is far from perfect, but I have to believe that, and let's remember, these are pages and pages and pages of text messages. It ain't like a few little messages here and there. It is pages. So I have to believe that somebody took the time to make all these pages up and be very accurate. I mean, they named specific hotels, they named dates and times and places, locations, who she talked to at the front desk. Like, it was very detailed information back and forth for pages and pages and pages and pages. And I would have to think that the defense, if they were made up, the defense would have been able to prove it very easily that these text messages never existed, that these were fake conversations. And for them to be admitted into evidence now, people who want to defend R. Kelly will be like, that's what happened. These are fake. These are fake. Well, I choose to believe differently. Okay. You left after the Cardi B obsession. Mm-hmm. This might be why the Clarys are divorced now. Yeah, because they're not together anymore, right? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting to my notes. Okay. He said he gave her most of the stuff she had on R. Kelly. He said they bonded, and he said he even took up for Angelo when people were coming after Angelo and accused. You know, remember the Angelo. Listen, the Clarys. A lot of people were side-eyeing the Clarys about their story of what happened with Azriel, because if you guys remember, their story was that they took their daughter to the R. Kelly concert. R. Kelly brought her up on stage to sing or to dance or whatever, and then she went backstage with R. Kelly. She sang for him, and then, you know, they started working together, and next thing they knew, their daughter was gone. Remember, that was their version, and everybody was like, why the hell did you take your 17-year-old daughter to an R. Kelly concert? Why would you like, a lot of people questioned their story. And so he said that he actually took up for Angelo and he defended him. And he said, we actually bonded. We, you know, and I'm sure they sort of trauma bonded because they had the same situation that happened to them. Okay. She got mad at me because the lawyer said, okay. He said, now this is coming from him. He said that Angelo actually was bragging about he said when around the time of the Gayle King interview, he said that Angelo was bragging about, Joycelyn is actually sleeping in the room with R. Kelly. Azriel is actually sleeping in the room with R. Kelly, and Joycelyn is sleeping on the couch. And yeah, Azriel is actually his main girl. And he was like, I was thinking to myself, why are you proud of that? Like, why are you bragging on the fact that your daughter is his main girlfriend? Like, why are you bragging about the fact that my daughter is on the couch and your daughter is in the bed with him? And he said he felt some kind of way. He thought that was kind of weird or whatever. So then they got into what happened. Now, this is what I know. A lot of people want to say, that because a lot of people are coming at the Savages and saying that they're lying and this, that, and the other. But the one thing I'm going to say, yeah, Miss Gigi, I can agree with that too. But here's the one thing I'm going to say. Their story has never changed. The first time I heard their story was on the news, when they first went to the media about their daughter. Then I heard it on Chasing R. Kelly, Lord, Surviving R. Kelly. Then I heard it again on Storm Monroe. That's the third time I've heard the story. The story has never changed. Now, that don't mean it's not true. I mean, that doesn't mean it's true. But generally speaking, I tell y'all all the time, a lie, you don't have to have a good memory when you're telling the truth, because the truth don't change. And so the story goes that they used to own a store, a boutique or whatever. Their daughter, they had an EP or a song that their daughter sang. Somebody came in the store, heard their daughter singing, and said, I can hook you up with, or I know. And he was a producer or executive down at, hold on, I did write this name down. Hold on. I know I wrote this person's name down. Shit, maybe I didn't. Hold on. Damn it. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I wrote this person's name down too. All right. I was listening to this last night as I was falling asleep, and then I listened to the rest of it today at work, on my lunch break. But I thought I wrote the name down. I didn't. But the person was an executive at Sony. So this is the same story they told the first time, and they say, no, it wasn't Rocky. It wasn't Rocky. No, Rocky name ain't come up, but I wish Monroe had asked him about Rocky, but I didn't hear that. If he asked him about Rocky, I didn't hear it. But what was I listening to today? Oh shoot, y'all. What was I listening to earlier today? I listened to so many damn videos. I was listening to an interview. Oh no. Javante. If you listen to Conscious TV, if you listen to Conscious TV's video of when Javante came up there on his platform last night or this morning, I think it was more like this morning, she does speak about Rocky. And she said he absolutely there. She said Rocky is from Chicago. His reputation is horrible in Chicago. He absolutely did work for R. Kelly. He ain't lying about that. And she said that basically she alluded to the fact that there's some stories there too, but she was like, I ain't going down that road. I ain't getting in that. But yeah, Rocky got some ish with him too. She ain't said it like that. I said it like that. But that's basically what she has said. But yeah, she spoke on that a little bit too. All right. So then, so the story goes that they connected with this executive at Sony, and he connected them with R. Kelly because at the time, R. Kelly was their moneymaker. Remember, R. Kelly has written songs for everybody. He's produced songs for everybody. Part of the reason why he got away with what he got away with for so long is because he was a moneymaker. Y'all know people will overlook all kinds of shit if you're making the money. They care about the bottom line. And so he said, we didn't seek out R. Kelly. We were working with Sony, but R. Kelly was one of their top producers, and they connected us with R. Kelly. Now, Monroe did ask the question. Everybody knew by this time, everybody knew R. Kelly. They knew his reputation. Why would you allow your daughter to work with him? Like, knowing his reputation, knowing what he's been known for, why would you do that? I love you, but the Savages have changed their story sometimes. The lawyer for R. Kelly could tell you that Jennifer is prepping for the appeal now in New York City. Well, every time I've heard it, it's been the same. So I'm just telling you, for me, every time I've heard the story, it's been the same. So they started working with R. Kelly, and they said that when they found out that R. Kelly and their daughter was flirting, messing around, whatever, they told her, that's it, that's a wrap. You gonna go back to college. You ain't gonna be no singer. We didn't like this situation, and that's when she disappeared. Remember, she cleaned out her room. She cleaned out her dorm room. She never came home for fall break or something to that effect. Now, they said that a friend of hers called them to tell them, hey, you might want to check on your daughter because she ain't been coming to class and she not in her dorm room. Now, they told that part of the story as well on Survivor R. Kelly, that a friend called and told them, look, your daughter ain't here. Like, her roommate, I believe it was, like, she ain't here. Not the lawyer can beg God, he ain't getting out. All right, so, and that was in 2016 or 2006. Was it 2006? 2016. Now, I'm going to be honest. I said the same thing by 2016, 15, 14, 13, R. Kelly's reputation, I mean, that's after the video, that's after Aaliyah, like, girl. Now I'm gonna say this, and I heard stories about R. Kelly when I was in college. R. Kelly was and this let y'all know how old I am. This is when he was still with Public Announcement. This was right before he broke from Public Announcement. But because by then I think the group was called R. Kelly and Public Announcement. They weren't even Public Announcement anymore. They were R. Kelly and Public Announcement. And they performed at the Step Show for Homecoming one year. I ain't gonna say what year it was. But for Homecoming one year, and I remember them performing Honey Love. He pulled one of the girls out of the audience to perform Honey Love at the Step Show. And I remember then people saying, y'all be careful, you know, R. Kelly like him young, y'all be careful. Yeah, and we would, and I mean, we were kids, so we joked about, I wonder who R. Kelly gonna end up taking home tonight. Like, so my thing is, if we knew it back then, when he was still with Public Announcement, before he even came, I Believe I Can Fly, I mean, everybody know. Okay? Been hearing rumors about R. Kelly. Exactly, Bat. So that part, again, I'm a side eye all the parents. Now, I know that at a certain point, you can't control what your children do. You could tell them no. You could tell them they can't. But at that point, she was over 18. She left willingly, and that's where she was. They ain't gotta like it, you know. But Storm Monroe asked him were they paid to be in the documentary. He said they did get a stipend. He said their stipend was between $1,500 to $2,000, and that's standard. I mean, that's not. They didn't get no windfall doing the documentary. He said a couple of times that he makes good money and he don't need that little $1,500 child. He said that he never got paid by R. Kelly. They never got any gifts or any type of anything from R. Kelly. He said Storm Monroe even said, did R. Kelly buy anything from your store? I said he gonna cover all bases. Now he said the closest that it came was that the year after their daughter left for Christmas, their youngest daughter got a really nice doll and some gifts or whatever from Christmas, but they were anonymous and they found out later that it came from Joycelyn. So that's the closest thing that he would admit that he got any type of monetary anything from R. Kelly. Okay. Yeah, R. Kelly was only supposed to produce one song. Now, he said he didn't have any knowledge about these text messages that have come to light between the Savages and Mama Savage and Azriel. Now, I'm curious because this had to have come out in court. So was he not in the courtroom? Or because if it was admitted into evidence, it had to have been addressed at court at some point. So I'm just wondering if he meant maybe he wasn't in court that day. Like, I don't know. You're not that old. You're beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Toria. I keep wanting to say Taloria. I have a friend whose name is Taloria. All these came out in court, right? So now I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little bit, because I thought he was at court. I'm almost certain that he was at court. And again, he might not have been there every single day, but this had to have come out in court. And I remember hearing about these text messages. I just hadn't read them. I remember R. Kelly talking about the text messages in his interview with Storm Monroe when he was like, the text messages. I remember R. Kelly even talking about the text messages. So I knew they existed. I just hadn't read them, and I certainly didn't know they were this damn explicit. Okay. I already answered that. Why did you let her? He asked, why did you let her be around R. Kelly? The mother eventually came down, and I think her name is Janika or something. All them babies' names begin with a J. Child is Joycelyn, Janika, Jarika, Juniper, Junie, Junana. I don't know, but all of them start with a J. Child. Now, you know, the rumor was that she slept with R. Kelly. So she came down and she was like, she never slept with R. Kelly. She said that he was never disrespectful to her. He never treated her no kind of way, and nothing like that ever went down. He didn't flirt with her and none of that. Well, these texts prove the Mann Act. He flew out a minor to slip his slide. Yes, they absolutely proved the Mann Act. Yep. Yeah, Diane Copeland bought the tickets. Yeah. Now, something else they said that I didn't like, and I know, I mean, I guess at a certain point, there's no other way you can say this, but I ain't like it. When Storm Monroe asked them about, well, why did y'all let him work with her? And they were like, y'all got to understand, this was just business. This was just business. It wasn't personal. I have a problem with that. Because again, I feel like you all allowed your ambition for your daughter to be a star to overshadow the fact that your daughter was spending time with, at the very least, somebody who has been accused of some heinous acts with children or young girls. I have a problem with y'all making it seem like you can separate that and this is just about business. But if I'm being honest, everybody did. And when I mean by everybody, I don't mean all of us. I mean people in the industry. If we want to look at and I don't have this information in front of me, but if we look at the year that the tape came out and the year that we all found out that he married Aaliyah, anybody that still did business with R. Kelly from that point forward is guilty. So the Mariah Careys, the Michael Jacksons, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Anybody that allowed R. Kelly to write a song for them, that allowed R. Kelly to produce a song for them, that performed with R. Kelly, Jay-Z, in any capacity, they all guilty. They all did the same thing. So I didn't like it when I heard the parents say it, and I'm not taking nothing off of the parents because I still think, they were wrong for that. But everybody who chose to do work with R. Kelly after they found out that he married a 15-year-old and after they found out that he was in a tape with another minor involved in a sexual act, all are guilty. And I'm guilty too. Because I bought his music. I danced to his music. I liked his music. Now, I never went to except for the step show. I never went to R. Kelly's show, except for the step show. But we all guilty. And I'm, and when I say we, again, if you were never one of those people, then I ain't talking about you. But the majority, because he wouldn't have been an international superstar if we weren't buying his music, if we weren't dancing to his songs, if we weren't singing I Believe I Can Fly at our 8th grade graduation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was doing it. So we were all guilty. But this ain't about us. This about them. For them to say that it was the same thing, like they separated it. They were like, okay, well, that's his personal life. This is business. And he's writing a song for our daughter that's going to help her launch her music career, whatever. And again, from the point of view of at that point in time, because by this time in 2016, he wasn't at the height of his career anymore, but he was still who he was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I look back like I should have been muted back then. Yeah, he should have been. But again, we heard about it. But that's why the Me Too movement is so important. And even though I don't like how fast we are to cancel people anymore, I appreciate the fact that we're at that point where we will hold people accountable. Y'all know what I'm saying? Hey, everybody. Thank you, Miss Baythang. Thank you so much. Yeah. So it ain't nothing for us to beat ourselves up over. But I also am going to say, I think when we get ready to judge people, I think we got to kind of be like, now, again, it's a little bit different. Me buying his CD versus my child being alone with him. Now, that's another conversation. That wasn't going to happen. But again, I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not going to lie. I can separate the man from the music. He is a musical genius. And if he never wanted to buy his master's, he would never been in jail. Okay, I disagree with that one, but okay. Okay, so let's finish going through these notes. He said point blank that what now he towards the end, before they started letting the callers come in, he got a little feisty. He was calling the Clarys liars. He said that they're just a bunch of liars and this, that, and the other. Now the mama, the people in the comments was talking about the mama. They felt like the mama was a little juiced. They felt like the daddy was a little juiced too, but they felt like the mama was a little juice. Now I found it interesting that the daddy at the very beginning of the interview, he was pouring some liquid into a cup, and he was very clear to let us know that it was ginger ale, not alcohol. But I was like, who asked? Nobody asked you what was in your cup. Nobody asked you if it was liquor in your cup. I mean, my thing is, if it was liquor in your cup, what the hell am I to judge? I don't care. So I found that interesting that he went out of his way to let us know that he did not have liquor in his cup. And people was clowning in the comments talking about the mama, because the mama did sound a little slurish. She did sound a little slurish. I'm not saying she was slurring. I'm going to say that she sounded a little slurish. I'm just saying. But the mama said that they, girl, what his master's. Oh, okay. But they did say that she started talking about how they check for predators in the neighborhood. And when they first moved to wherever they moved, to Atlanta or whatever, the first apartment they lived in had predators, and she always goes on the website and checks to see about the predators, and that they don't leave their children alone with anybody. They don't even let like other people babysit their kids. They the only people that ever watch their children. First of all, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. So you mean to tell me from the time y'all had kids, y'all never went on a date? From the time y'all had kids, y'all never did nothing when it was just the two of y'all? That don't need to make no damn sense to me. I don't believe that. See, now you're lying. See, what I always tell y'all, people be lying when the truth will do. You can say, listen, we were very selective about who we allowed around our children. But what you're not getting ready to say is that you ain't never let nobody else watch your kids but the two of y'all. Because I just don't believe that. I don't believe it. The other thing is, you were making such a big deal about letting us be known that y'all by letting it be known that y'all be looking for predators in y'all apartment, and y'all be going on the registry and finding out how many of them live in y'all neighborhood. And I'm like, but y'all didn't have no problem allowing your daughter to work with one. Like, you literally just told me you could separate business from pleasure. So if you could separate business from pleasure and allow your daughter to work with an alleged predator, why are you worried about the predator that lives 2 blocks down the street? Why are you worried about the predator that's in your apartment building? You ain't had no problem depositing your daughter to an alleged, well, he convicted of it now. Well, what is he convicted of? Whatever. I'm going to just keep saying alleged shot. An alleged predator, but now you kidding here talking about how she lied with conscience now? Okay, I'm going to check it out later. I'm going to check it out. When we get off here in a few minutes, so we get off of here, everybody, all 180 of y'all wait till we done now. Don't leave yet. Don't leave me yet. But when we get done, we're going to all run over the conscience. And then when y'all run over the conscience, y'all put it in the chat. Really B told us, come over here. Okay. But with that being said, because we almost done, y'all. We're almost done. Mr. Clary admitted that he did flirt with Cash Jones because he said he was trying to get information. Now, if you don't know who Cash Jones is, she's the person who I believe wrote the book that inspired the surviving R. Kelly documentary. She was very instrumental in getting the documentary made. And so I guess he got caught flirting with her, but he said he was only flirting with her to get information. Sir. So you was flirting with this woman to get information about your daughter, who you allege was kidnapped by R. Kelly. That's what we're doing now? You couldn't just ask her. You couldn't just say, hey, my daughter is a victim. Can you keep me in the loop? Can I work with you? How can I be a part of this movement? How can I be a part of your organization? What is it that I need to do? You couldn't do that. You didn't feel like that was enough to get information. You felt like you had to flirt with her. See, either you lying or you're telling the truth. Now, if you lying, you was really trying to get with this girl and you got caught. If you telling the truth, you just dumb. Because that don't make no sense. That just don't make no sense. That tells me that you have such a low opinion of women that a woman would be so flattered by your attention that they'll tell you something that they wouldn't tell you if you just came right out and said, hey, my daughter is a victim. I really am looking for an organization. I'm looking for some help. I'm looking for how I get in where I fit in. Can you help me? Can you help me? So either you telling the truth, and that tells me that you have a low opinion of women, or you lying and you was really trying to get with them. After that, they started having the call-ins, and like I said, y'all, I'm not gonna tell y'all just gotta go watch them call-ins. Baby, they was lighting them up from the word go. But let me say this, shout out to Storm Monroe, because I think he asked some really good questions. I think he was very respectful in how he asked those questions. He allowed his people to come up and ask questions, and even when they may have been a little feisty or a little disrespectful, he did a really good job of bringing them back around without berating them. And I think he did a really good job. I really do. I think it was a good interview. So listen, it's 160 y'all. 20 of y'all left to go over the conscience. Y'all left before I told y'all to leave, but that's okay. I love y'all anyway. It's 100. Well, now it's 157. Y'all just keep leaving. Let me ask. I need y'all to do me a favor, okay? 2 things I need you guys to do. The first thing I need you to do is when we get off of here, y'all run over to Conscious TV. Do I have a mod that can put his link in the chat for me, please? If you are not familiar with Conscious TV, can somebody, only a mod can do it. I know some of y'all can do it, but only a mod can do it. If y'all could go over there, and when you drop in the chat and say, really be sent us over here, because y'all know that's my boo thing, and I want him to know that the tribe is supporting him. The second thing I would like for y'all to do, if you go over to Storm Monroe's video, if y'all go over there to watch his video, can you let him know that I sent you? Listen, we trying to grow the channel, and I want people to know that we are supporting them. We see what they're doing. And so if y'all just let Storm Monroe know, hey, really be sent us over here. She said y'all did a good job, okay? Or did you, not y'all, you. Okay? So I'm going to put the link in the description box as soon as I get off of here. But Storm Monroe, that's his name. It's just, if you're not familiar with them, it's Storm Monroe. And then Conscious TV, I don't think I have a mod in here right now. But there it is. My bad. I should have known my girl was here. So there is Conscious TV's link. We are getting ready. I'm going to go over there myself right now. So if you guys could head over there right now and just drop down in the chat and let him know that Really B sent us. And I'm going to be right over there with you guys in 2 shakes of a lamb. I'm going to eat my dinner while I listen to the rest of his video, okay? Thank y'all for being here. We had a double header tonight. A lot of y'all were here for the first and the second one. I thank you guys so much. Let me see. It's a few more comments. Hold on. Let me see what Tori is saying. Until I heard the cases from day one and all the transcripts and the lies came out, the deals that were made for testimony, I will still have believed he was guilty. But as adults, we can agree to disagree. I agree. Children are more likely to be blanked by family and friends, not by people on the registry. Child. Mr. Savage has been trying to make money off this since day one. Mr. Clary and him had a plan together, and they fell out, and then Clary told it all on IG last year. Yeah, I know he was out there on IG talking, honey. I didn't read a couple more comments, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Devlin. Thank you. I remember when he did that video in a vacant parking lot at night with a baseball bat telling R. Kelly to get back. It's not funny, y'all, but I remember that too, child. All right. Thank you guys again for being here, and I will see y'all on the other side. Real Housewives of New Jersey review will be out tonight. And I think I'm going to try to get my Ultimate Girls Trip out. I'm a week late, but I'm going to try to get that video out tonight as well. Thank y'all so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.